So, familiar with rotator cuff exercises? 90-90 shoulder external rotations are one of the best ways to activate part of your rotator cuff, mainly your supraspinatus. That's based on some research. This is my little version I came up with. You don't even need to hook a band to a stable apparatus. All you need is a NT Loop Mini or mini band. And look, here you go. This way you can do this anywhere. Now, there's a reason why I have the angle of the band's tension pulling downwards and not here. So let me get into that a little bit, but let me first show you just some basic cues. So I'm starting here, thumbs out like this. I go 90-degree angle at my shoulder joint and 90-degree angle at my elbow joint. So from there, I want this hand, my anchor hand, my bottom hand, to be in line with my other elbow, and then down, and then basically just do my external rotations. Now, when I'm at the bottom here, if I don't get a lot of tension, I can just bring this down a little bit. So that way I'm getting tension all the way through the range. Now keep in mind, I'll switch it back to this side. Keep in mind I'm using a band here. So the band is increasing its tension as I stretch it. That's the nature of the band. So even though I'm gaining a mechanical advantage over the weight up here, I'll explain what I mean by that in a second, the band is getting heavier. So there's a reason why it's down here. Now, here's how you do the exercise. I want to make sure my elbow stays up. You want to make sure that your elbow of your working arm doesn't drop down. You want to keep that 90-90 position. Now, let me go into an explanation of why I prefer the tension anchored down here, and this would be whether you're using a traditional band with a handle or you're doing my little mini NT Loop mini band version, which is very convenient here. Now, if I anchored it here and I just did this, am I getting any tension here at the bottom? Right, because I still have all this motion to overcome. No, I'm not getting tension at the bottom. I want to get strong all the way through that range. If you don't train in that range, you don't get strong in that range, right? Principle of specificity. So if I have tension down here where I had it, look, I'm already getting tension at the bottom. Now, as I come up to the top, am I still getting tension against my rotator cuff? Yes, the only way I wouldn't be getting tension is if I had the band straight down like this, because now it's like a shoulder press. It's not pulling me into that range anymore. Now here's a rule. General 101 physiology, you don't need to be an exercise phys student to understand this. It's called length-tension relationship. Here's what it means. This is a fundamental principle. Your muscles are strongest in their mid-range and weakest in their shortened range. So when your fibers are fully contracted, they're not as strong as they are in their mid-range. We don't need to get into all the physiology behind that. It has to do with what's called your actin myosin fibers, but just remember they're weaker in their shortened range. Now, let's go back to the mechanics here. Where's my shortened range when I'm fully contracted in an external rotation? There. I'm weaker there, right? Now, if I anchor the band here and pull it, it's harder for me now here because the band is stretching and the lever arm is longer, or the moment arm. Or if it's here, I have more of a mechanical advantage over the load. So having the band down here not only gives me tension through a greater range of motion than here, it also better fits with my strength curve. Because especially when you work with a band, because